As we see AI transforming industries and job roles, and many of our alumni work in STEM or work in financial services, or they're mostly in quant and technical roles, what do you believe will help them differentiate or will differentiate
Yeah.
professionals generally to help them thrive from those who would struggle to stay relevant?
We are actually starting to see engineers struggle to make this shift, right? Because a lot of engineers still come to me and say, "Hey, I'm an awesome coder," and I'm like, "Okay, that's great, right? But I can, for the most part, and again, not everything we can code right now with our systems, GitHub Copilot, and so forth. But what I need you to do as an engineer is start thinking differently, right? Start using the AI to code better, but more specifically, give you a much bigger impact on a more holistic engineering systems thinking, right? And so we're seeing some of our engineers, frankly speaking, struggle a little bit making that change. So your question about what differentiates people, it's that learning agility. And by the way, you're gonna hear me say this. All my friends and colleagues that I talk to all the time are sick and tired of me using that phrase and that term. But learning agility now becomes the most important kind of skill set that you have, right? As an engineer now, how do you frame the right problems, the right questions for your AI to code for you so that you can generate much better answers, solutions, and so forth, right? And so that bringing that holistic mind to the problem is absolutely critical. How do you combine technical curiosity with human judgment becomes even more important, right? So keep in mind, AI is not very useful unless we bring the human judgment to it, right? Unless we point it in the right direction, unless we ask the right questions.
I think what you're saying, and naturally engineers may struggle with this because well, being an engineer means you're linear, right? Like you're
Yeah,
focused, you've been taught to figure things out.
yeah,
You need that baseline technical skill, is what you're hearing, but it needs to be beyond that. So
it,
I was just at Davos, as you know, and we were speaking with people at the World Economic Forum, and it's not AI that will take your job, it's people that know how to use AI that will take
absolutely.
your job, right? So that's what you're saying is to be an engineer is great, but you need to be an engineer who can leverage AI for the basic tasks, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you nailed it, right? Because here's what AI does for us, right? It essentially democratizes data,
Hmm.
right? And frankly speaking, it brings us now all on the same playing field for the most part. If you're smart enough to kind of use AI and get into it, right? We're now kind of all on the same playing field. And that's the hope with AI. The question now is, and to your point about it's more than just prompt engineering, is now that you have this data, right? Or information, now that you've got this knowledge, how do you actually interpret it? How do you communicate it? How do you kind of pull the through line between all the points of the data and so forth, right? It is, again, kind of everything that you just said, but in other words, using that and leveraging it to kind of take you to that next level.